Guys, I'm just doing a quick a break from my work of writing Megillah Esther here. It's been on my mind. I'm not really very well prepared for this, but in the case of an urgency, and it's on my heart and mind to do this right now because of need. And so I'm just gonna quickly blast off a quick message for those who may need help to break free from certain things that are holding them back. So, this is a private men's only video, and if you're gonna watch this, I want you to don't watch it with anybody else, and it should be done in private because it's a private matter and it's regarding embarrassing subject matter and private personal subject matter. Now that I've mentioned it, I can assume you all know what I'm talking about, and so I'm not gonna name it. It'll become clear. So I'm gonna actually bare my soul and be kind of confidential to you and share hopefully what's gonna be beneficial only and helpful. In my experience, I had 100% success of breaking free from what is this thing that besets us and causes depression and anxiety and fear and inferiority and anger and angst and every kind of bad thing in the soul of the mind and the psychology of the person. I've had success in clearing myself from this disease and this common thing when I fasted for 13 days, 1999, I think it was. No, yeah, 1999 or 89, 99 or yeah, 98 or 99. I fasted 13 days with no food and no water, consecutive 13 days. Pardon me, no food only. I took water, all 13 days straight only. Filtered tap water. I lived in Vancouver and I didn't have food for 13 consecutive days and nights. Lost a pound a day on average, and I gained mastery over my Nefesh Bahamid. So consider it's like King David when he was young and he fought Goliath. Goliath is let's make him like the parable, a metaphor of this thing that wants to get us. So if we want to minimize the power of Goliath, we want to take away all of his weapons and give David all he needs to fight and be victorious. So what could the weapons of Goliath be? Any images we see, any voices we hear, any sounds we hear, any sensory thing that can touch our mind and just get our attention of our soul, our brain. We want to eliminate all those influential things. Anything that assists for Goliath to have any victory or any kind of power or any kind of rise or influence or we want to eliminate all those things. Anything that assists you to accomplish a sin, anything that distracts your mind from doing a mitzvah, take it out of your house. Whether it's for sure, never whether it's or not. Everybody should and must have a filter that is tweaked on all of their devices, because that's probably one of the primary powerful sources of the influence. What we see, our heart desires, and then our body goes to do the act to fulfill this desire. Now we know from the Torah, we know from the Tanya that this is a forbidden thing, and it's something that automatically causes sadness, depression, disappointment, grief, and impurity. And so we need to eradicate this completely. Because we know that, like, here, look at me. Look at what I do. I do holy work. This is one of my Megillahs that I'm writing, and I do Kedusha, mezuzah, and tefillin, and people and you didn't rely on me for my work. And the kosher mezuzah and tefillin are what gives us our spiritual protection. So the person, it says actually, I've heard that the Yirut Shamayim of a shochet has to be greater than a rav, and the Yirut Shamayim of a sofer has to be greater than a shochet. Like, as every single letter of a mezuzah or tefillin that he writes has to be written with kavana for the sake of the mitzvah. So I've been forced into a position where I've accepted it willingly, and God gave me this talent, and I've accepted it, and so I hope that my Yirut Shamayim is adequate. Now, I'm saying that because I'm in a position of trust and in a position of necessary kedusha and tahara, purity and holiness, and thus I'm forced to live a pure life. And I'm not saying that every second of my life is like that, but I work as well as I can to do that. Anyway, I'm saying this because I want to help people who are in depression to be free from things that easily beset us and decrease our ability to live in a holy, pure life. And I'm presenting this video to you so that you will have tools that you need to accomplish your victory over your nefesh habahamit. So in my life, I took away anything and everything that could influence me to desire. And it's a sacrifice. It's giving up things that you like. And so also I had to bring in things that will bolster my spiritual strength and immunity, let's say. Let's call it a disease that is like a virus, as this time and age is talking about viruses. Let's call the sin a virus that wants to infect us with impurity and cause us to not have health, which would be doing mitzvahs, studying and learning Torah and doing mitzvahs all the time. So we want to benefit ourselves with the greatest strengths and encouragement to living a life of tahara and purity and kedusha and holiness, and the opposite, to defend against anything that will get us down. So causes of anxiety and depression and any negative feeling and demons that can haunt us and prevent us from joy and success and simcha and good success in life. We want to prevent it, defend against those things, right? So going to mikvah is a must to start off. And if someone gets impure, you should go to mikvah again, whether it be a lake or a river or ocean or an actual mikvah. And if a shower for a long enough time does it, then that's not the best option. But if you can't go to a real mikvah, then at least you'd have a long shower. 9 kavim of water. I don't know exactly how much it is. Like, say, a little shower of at least 5 minutes or something like that, letting the water run over. But the soul, I mean, also, let me tell about mikvah. One time, like, I used to go to mikvah every day. And these days with COVID, the mikvah was shut down. I wasn't going to mikvah. I was having only showers. And so only if I'm going to go to a mikvah would I write a mezuzah. I would for sure not write if I'm not going to go to a mikvah. But the Megillah, I'm being more lenient because there's more lenient laws regarding that. Now, but just want to give an example. In my day-to-day experience, sometimes I get PO'd. I get upset. I get angry at something or somebody, and I couldn't have the joy and simcha that I need to have what I want. So I would go to mikvah, and my experience tells me that the anger spirit would vanish, and sometimes I couldn't clear these emotions until I went to mikvah. So I feel like it's like a spirit that gets stuck to you and hangs on to you, and going to mikvah zeroes it. That's my experience. I would recommend it to anybody and everybody who has emotional troubles, in that it could be like a spirit that clings to you. And if you're having spiritual and emotional challenges, go to mikvah. Go to mikvah, a kosher mikvah, and you should have a great benefit to starting to overcome the anxiety, the depression, and negative emotions from this. And also, okay, so also learning Tanya, if you're not doing that, the Sefer Tanya, which is the Alter Rebbe, the Chabad first Rebbe who wrote that book. You can get it online at chabad.org and find daily study. And under daily study, you'll find the Tanya, the daily portion of Tanya, which you should start and do every single day. Mashiach, we learned that the Baal Shem Tov in the heavenly Heichal told Mashiach that Mashiach told the Baal Shem Tov that this book, the Tanya, I get my facts right or wrong. It was told that the Tanya book was going to usher in the time Mashiach, was going to help bring Mashiach. And so I've been reading it every day for at least 15 years, longer actually, and it has helped me to have the psychological information, the mental awareness, and the understanding and ability to think through processes to understand how my evil nature and my soul, my holy soul, how there's two of us trying to occupy the same body and have victory and rulership over my body. So we have, a Jew has two souls, an evil, sinful nefesh bahamit, the natural soul, the animal soul, that's living at the left side of the heart. This is my left. I don't know how you see it on the video, but this is my left. And then the holy soul lives on the right side, and it's mostly living also in the brain, the neshama. The neshama is the holy soul. So there are two. Each moment they're fighting for the victory to influence the body to act, think, or speak. Now, the thought, speech, and action are the three garments of the soul. In everything we do, there's a thought, speech, or an action, right? So we want to also prevent thoughts that lead to sin. So eliminating anything that'll influence our thoughts that is evil, preventing us from seeing sights that cause our thoughts to go astray to the evil, and the opposite. We want to put into our experience all kinds of thoughts that influence to the kosher, to the good, to the holy, to the kedusha and the pure. And with this, I know it's 13 minutes now. I hope that this video will assist you to start to have victory where you're depressed and you suicidal thoughts. Listen to me. I know what it's all about. I've been through all of it, and I know exactly, quite in detail, how to overcome it. And so I kind of broke off into many tangents with this talk. I'm sorry. It's been hard, but I think you can follow. When I fasted for 13 days, getting back to my story, this is like, 30 years ago? Nah, less than 30 years ago. 21 years ago, something like that. After I fasted 13 days, I had 18 months of being never aroused once. I used to wake in the morning and guess who was there? And after fasting, nothing. I was quiet as it was. There was no activity. And so this is how I know that fasting works very well. And it says in Tanya that a person should fast X amount of times for each sin. And because our bodies are not weak like they were in previous generations, the Tanya suggests to use tzedakah to redeem the fasts. Nevertheless, the Alter Rebbe says that we nevertheless should still perform the fasts necessary over. You can spread it out over a long time. You can fast half a day at times and add them up to equal the amount of prescribed fasts. So fasting is definitely a mitzvah today, even though we're told in the Tanya that our bodies are weak and we can't perform so many fasts like they did in previous generations when they had robust and healthy bodies, because all the different elements and things are depleted from our bodies from the lack of quality food, etc., and the sugar we eat and all the junk and the drugs and whatever we take. Nevertheless, we should still fast and break it down into smaller times, like half a day, half a day, half a day, or one day, one day, one day, and also redeem fast by giving tzedakah in the like one fast equals one meal. So let's say one meal costs you 10, 12 bucks or 18 bucks, whatever is your cost of your lifestyle. So one fast is one meal. You redeem a fast. Or one day is like three meals. So I hope this will give you some empowerment and encouragement and light your way to see how you have to do tshuva and how to do tshuva and what steps you have to take to get free from these demons and spirits that want to hold you down and hold you back and prevent you from a victorious, cheerful, simcha life, joyful life, a victorious life, a victory over your darkness and sin and nefesh bahamit, your evil nature, your sinful nature, and your physical body that wants to do what animals do. But we have a holy soul, and we're obligated to live a Torah lifestyle. And I understand how the things these days. The date I'm making this is what is it today? It's January 6th, 2021. So I know there's a lot of people who are suffering with, especially this particular is personal failures, and it gets you down. And you have to do the things necessary to prevent you getting down and get back up and get clean and get pure and do everything you can do to prevent it from happening again and again and again. And these are some of the steps you'll have to take. All right. I wish you the best, the blessings. And I'm sorry this was not very well presented, but I think in the case of the urgency, I wanted to get it out there. And thanks for watching. And please click the like button and share this video. And tell them that this video should not be watched sharing with other people. It should be a privately watched video. It's an embarrassing matter, but it's an urgent, essential matter that each man must guard his personal purity and holiness. And if not, all kinds of hell breaks loose, as each man who has failed in this regard knows miserably. So we want to prevent that. We want to succeed and go on to victory. All right, in righteousness, and God bless you. May you have a lot of success. And send me a note that you've succeeded, you've followed these instructions, and you've passed and you succeeded, and I'll be happy to encourage you. And all the best. May Hashem